Hi everyone, welcome. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your August 2017 Solar Eclipse Soul Tarot reading. I've been waiting to do this reading, feeling some anxiety because I really felt the need to get it out there, my internal desire I suppose, and been doing a lot of personal readings. They've been intensely deep and beautiful, and I am here to assure you that we are passing into and through this beautiful portal. Spirit's telling me this set of portals that all of us here on the planet at this point have been predestined to experience, and in fact incarnated intentionally in order to be here for this moment. And I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck. It speaks to me, resonates with my particular brand of clairvoyance really beautifully. And I also use the Book of Runes quite often in the reading, so people often ask me about that. So I'm just going to move these a little bit and just shuffle a little while I chat about the experience that I've been having and what's been going on here. If you'd like to skip ahead, feel free. There is information about how to get a personal reading just below the video. Click on the Show More button and everything you need to know is there, including payment and scheduling. So, those of you who are new, I'm clairvoyant. I started this journey on YouTube in the beginning of this year through some significant changes that I was going through and an agreement that I made as a result of those changes. To try to work with the channeled energy, to work with spirit, as I call it, in order to get messages out to the collective because of the enormous shift and change that we are going through this year, in order to prepare us for that which begins, that's what's coming through, in 2018. I'm in the United States, there's one of the cards, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's going on here. And I find it very fascinating because, you know, these eclipses, as you know, I trust everybody's looked online at their favorite astrology folks. This is about opening to universal love. It's about coming to a new set point, a reset, and being able to apply the love that we have access to through the growth and the shift and change that we've all been experiencing since the beginning of the year. Again, if you're new to the channel, I invite you to go and look back at the readings that have significance for you, given your astrology set points, you know, meaning your, you know, the information that's in your natal chart. Your sun sign, your rising sign, Spirit saying your midheaven. That's interesting. So, I'm going to put this video in a grouping with the other videos that I have done about the series of eclipses that have come through in 2017. The folks that have come to Moonrise Cottage, either through Skype or in person, for readings, inside the portal, Spirit is saying, have given me some intimate information about the type of change that we are experiencing. And as we all know, it's one thing to experience it or to know about it intellectually, but to really understand on a deep heart chakra spiritual level is another really important way of knowing. And so, that's interesting. Spirit wants this to come out. So, the type of information that you are feeling as you go through the portal is very important. Spirit wants you to feel it, not to think about it. Okay. Many people here in this time, I believe, are not only here to experience what's coming through is experience the portal, but experience themselves as spirit beings, here to have the experience of going through the portal. It's also true that there are many souls on the other side, and I've been in touch with quite a few of them in the last 3 weeks or so, who have been working with souls that are here. And that's the message that Spirit wants me to talk about today, as it's come into the reality of my consciousness through the work that I do here at Moonrise Cottage. There is a desire. There's a request coming through. And the request has to do with taking your moments, whatever you do in your sacred practice during the eclipse and the 6 months or so that follow. As this energy continues to unfold, it's not just about this event. The event itself is, of course, important. It's about what comes after, Spirit's saying. So please understand that what you do literally affects the entire planet and every being on it. And so, although I try to not get into politics, and believe me, I have many opinions, I'm feeling very emotional today, and one of the things I'm understanding, as many of you might be, is that perhaps this is a moment for us to drop our intellectual processes, and from our heart chakra, literally, Spirit's telling me it is possible, especially in these moments, to contact and connect with those people who are in leadership positions, and to fill their hearts with love. Because that is what this transformation is about. And Spirit says those people are suffering at this point. They need us. You know, we focus a lot about how much we need them and what we want from them, etc. And what's also true is that they need us. They need our love. They need our assistance. They need our spiritual protection and presence. And just even as the information is coming through and I'm attempting to speak about it, I'm feeling very choked up at my heart chakra, at my throat chakra. My third eye is opening and my heart chakra is just really swelling. So those folks, you know, whose destiny it is to be in a position of leadership during this time of reset. And if you look at the types of issues that have come up, at least here in the United States, let's just rejoice that we're getting a reset in those issues from our heart chakras. And Spirit says the time has finally arrived and major shift is happening. So although the way we have become aware of that has been extremely difficult, I'm just giving thanks that it has come to the surface, so that as a people, Spirit says, as a group of beings, we have the opportunity to shift it by taking the energy that comes through at the eclipse, and literally the word I'm getting is shepherding it. I interpret that to mean as beaming it with full intention into the heart chakras of our leaders. And that is what we can do as a group of people seeking to create shift and change. That is the most effective thing we can do. And it will be working in a way that is unseen to us, and the effect will be great. Okay? So, Spirit says that everything's done. We'll put the cards down, and we'll see. thanks to everyone who's here. I've really been feeling the energy of all the folks who've subscribed to the channel and everyone who's stopping by. And I just want to, give a shout out and tell you how much love I've been feeling, how it's filling my heart, and how grateful I am for not only for your presence, but for the incredible gift that I've been giving that allows me to do this work. So let's see. And just look, that's what I was just talking about. That's what's coming through. I'm going to scroll in on that a little bit. Okay. So, again, Spirit's saying, as a group of beings, this card that sits at the top of the reading gives it spiritual awareness and light and direction and theme. And just as the channeled energy that was just coming through, that is the lover of devotion. That is the full name of the card. And the lover of devotion is highly activated. The abundance, this person who happens to be female, the abundance that is experienced is at the heart chakra. And her hands are overflowing. And that's the moment that we're in. Do you see the beautiful clarity and the vision that this woman has? She is of the mystical realm. And she did have 2 suitors, and she had to choose the direction that she would take her life. And to which, Spirit is saying, she would give her devotion. So, as we go through the reading, Spirit wants everyone to keep this concept in mind. Okay? So this is us. This is humanity. And, it's interesting. This card's been coming out a lot. This is the dialogue of skill. This is what Spirit has been attempting to do with us and for us, and certainly through me, through the efforts that I've been performing. The dialogue of skill, the story behind the card, is about Merlin. And Merlin being the sacred magician, the wizard, if you will, in mythology, around all the King Arthur stories, that time in our history. What Spirit's saying is we've come to one of those moments of pure magic. Merlin lost his way. He became very tired. And he began to wander, losing his focus and unable to function in the manner that he was. It's interesting what's coming through. In the manner that he was given. So, again, Spirit is talking about the gifts we've been given and how we are meant to use them in order to create our destiny. And so this was a great poet, a dear friend, who heard about what had happened and went to find Merlin, sought him out, put his arm around him with love and care, and began a dialogue to help him remember himself. And that, what's coming through, is that is the purpose of this year of 2017. And it's so important that these eclipses that are happening, and again, I'm an American, I'm here in the United States, particularly what is happening here. It is true for all beings. And, just Spirit says, just look into the illustration, you'll understand. The skillful dialogue about what is true and what is real and what is needed, Spirit says. And I feel very grateful that this eclipse is falling across the entire United States. And we are indeed coming to a place of reset. Having all the things that need to be changed. Having discussions about our pathway, our history, our set point, what it is we truly want. And this is where we are at this time on the earth. So, Spirit says a very similar message. It's time for us to decide, where does our devotion lie? What is it that we can create? How can we remember ourselves when we focus from our heart chakra as the channeled information that was coming through about being in touch with and from that place with love? And Spirit's, one of the things that's coming through is a lot of chatter, I call it, meaning information that's coming to me as I speak. This notion of being in touch, developing our ability to utilize this type of communication is something that we feel love, and yet we don't communicate with love, or we haven't yet, in the way that it is possible for us, having, well, okay, what Spirit's saying is, coming through the eclipse, on the other side, as we go through, we will feel a great swelling at our heart chakra. And when that happens, it's time for us to capture that and understand that we literally can utilize the energy that we carry and that we feel and our desires. So there's, sometimes I can't keep up with the flow. There's talk about breaking through illusions. And if you looked at the little video, I made an 8-minute video just because I wanted you folks to be able to see what I was seeing. The beauty of the readings that have been happening around this eclipse season have been just stunning. And there was a lot. 2 things were coming through in almost every reading. One is the guardian of the gateway, the guardian of truth, female energy, just like this, a fertile moment, having to do with the spiritual reality that we experience. And now we're being told we're coming home to ourselves through these discussions that we've been having with ourselves, with Spirit. That's what this illustration is about. Our transformation through our connection to that which we see. Okay, so sometimes the words don't translate into English, but this representing Spirit, or whatever is sacred in your life, however you experience that, it is embracing us literally in this moment and speaking with us from this place so that we can go forward, joined together with Spirit, having been transformed in this way, able to work on this plane with our heart chakras. So we've been bursting through a lot of illusion. And look, okay, so let me just put this there. That is, I'm going to show you the card. Look at that. That's the renewer. It's a major arcana, the second major arcana. Do you see the triple deities there? Deep out across the universe. Something very profound is happening. These are elderflowers. They've been used for centuries for healing. This is the gun-struck cauldron that was found in a bog, created by the Celtic peoples long, long ago. You can look it up on the internet. This card is the renewer of devotion. And the renewal that we are experiencing, the cauldron out of which all things arise. And look, deep out in the universe, the place from which these celestial events happen, with the assistance of the triple deities at this time. And one of the things that's coming through is Spirit saying, we're going to go through, I will go through the reading, I promise. But in a sense, this is the reading, these 3 cards. Spirit is here to talk to us about our devotion and the place from which we speak. It's time to speak from here. And we are being given this beautiful gift to renew our devotion from the place in which it arises, out of which it arises. The place we all feel connected to, no matter your religion, no matter your culture, no matter your place upon the earth. Each of us feels this in some way. We all have a knowledge of this. And we are being renewed. And that is the promise of this eclipse season. This is beautiful. This is the warrior of skill. And look, it sits right below the dialogue of skill. Okay? I love this card. The warrior of skill holds magic in his hands. He's holding his power. This is beautiful male archetypical energy. And look at the Spirit saying, to see the purity of the motivation. This card is about responding to internal impulse in a moment. And if you look at the background, it's a little bit, the whole thing is a little bit magical, right? So this card, this warrior, if you will, stands at the ready, waiting for the moment to arrive. His saddlebags are packed. He has what he needs, including the internal ability, and this Spirit is telling me this is about purity of movement. When the impulse strikes him, he jumps atop the horse and he rides, Spirit saying, straight into the night, straight into the impulse of that which causes him to move. And that's what this reading is about. That's what I've been talking about. Having been renewed. Let me see if I can move this camera a little bit. I forgot to widen the screen. I apologize. All right, so having been renewed in this way, our internal impulses and abilities change. And we have the ability, this is what's coming through, the ability to move the purity of our intentions forward based on the impulse that is within us in our heart chakra. That's beautiful. Let's see what's there. Look. Thank goodness. Anyone who's a regular viewer, you know how much I love this card. In fact, it came out in a reading last night, a really beautiful reading about someone who was stepping into the moment that they came here to experience. And Spirit saying it's true for all of us. Another major arcana card. The third one in this reading, there's 5 cards on the table. This is the third major arcana. Right? That's the changer of truth. Who in a moment, with lightning bolt precision, and again, beautiful male archetypical energy, meaning the impetus, the drive, the intention to go forward in a way that is perhaps shocking, but very forceful, right? Again, at the heart chakra. Do you see the activation? And that which no longer serves us, meaning humanity, falls away. The color of this card is blue. It is the color of transformation, death and rebirth. That is our destiny. And I'm feeling alive. I am feeling my heart chakra. It causes me to feel choked up. That's my human response, Spirit says. We're going to feel a lot of emotion. And look, the changer of truth sits on the table directly below the lover of devotion. It's incredibly beautiful. So let's see. So, again, I'm just going to reference briefly. Look at this human walk. The renewer of devotion, brings the warrior of skill to the surface. Like I was saying, like Spirit was saying through me, this is coming to the surface. The warrior of skill. The impurity of our desires and emotions and ability to move forward with pure intentions now from the heart. And that is bringing the change that we're seeing and the types of things that are happening in the political arena, at least here in the United States. Great shift and change. Changing our truth forever. That's what Spirit's telling me. Okay. So, and look, that's the woman I was talking about. The combat of skill. She's been in many of the readings that have come through. I love this card. The combat of skill is about life energy, love. How do we find it when we don't have enough? And we go searching, and it is the searching. Look, there's the new moon. Don't have any doubt. It is the searching that brings us, that is our quest. And in these moments, when we discover, due to the renewal of our devotion, that we don't have enough love, we're not operating from the right place, we are given this incredible gift of facing our illusion, literally facing it. And certainly, at least here in the U.S., that's what's happening, isn't it? It's right in our face. Thank goodness is all I can say. Thank goodness. And in this moment, we are asked for love. Most of you know the story because this card's been coming up a lot. I'll tell it briefly. There was a kingdom. There was a king, interestingly enough, who did not have enough water. The kingdom was running out of water, and there was a dire situation going on. And the king sent out 3 warriors, each of whom were tasked with finding water. Each went out in a different direction. One at a time, they each came across this beautiful woman. I think she's gorgeous. She's a hag, okay, the sacred hag. She's got, I don't know if you can tell, she's got warts all over her body. She's supposed to be somewhat horrific. Every time I see her, I think, my gosh, she's gorgeous. Nonetheless, each warrior came across this woman who controlled water, love, life force energy, and the abundance that comes in that way, Spirit says. Again, a fertile moment, a female deity is what Spirit is saying, causing us to face our need for love and devotion. In these moments, it brings us to our spiritual journey. This is the bridge card. So, you know, each one of these young warriors met this woman, asked her for access to the water, and she said, of course, there's a cost, and the cost is a kiss. 2 of them ran away, essentially, and said, there's no way. I can't possibly. The 3rd young man, Spirit's telling me hold this card. The 3rd young man said, oh, okay. Well, my goodness, I'm so grateful that you're willing to share this with us. And he got off his horse, and he put his arms around her in a very loving, tender way, and gave her a real kiss, with love and respect and gratitude. And in that moment, she transformed. And this is the moment that we're in. You know, it was a fairy tale, so as fairy tales go, she transformed into a beautiful young woman. Became betrothed to the young warrior, and it was the transformation of her love that changed the outcome of the situation. When love was applied to something that seemed abhorrent, the young warrior rose to be the king. And I do believe there's a message there, hearkening back to this request, to use our heart chakras and our devotion to fill the hearts, to be in touch and in communication with everyone in a leadership position, no matter what you think of them. This is the moment to utilize what you believe and the skills you've been developing to change the course of human destiny. And that is why we are having this dialogue of skill through my YouTube channel, for those of you that resonate with it, since the beginning of this year. Spirit says the moment is here. And please understand, remember yourself. And share this information with as many people as you feel able to do. Alright, so let's look. So, this is our human walk this month, through the eclipse. Astounding, isn't it? When you see how the way these are lined up. So this is the spirit implication. And there, that's the Sacred Mother. Another major arcana card. This is the Shaper of Growth. Beautiful, archetypical, sacred female energy. The Sacred Mother who shepherds souls across and provides them with the bounty that they need in order to reach their destiny. And, Spirit's saying, just wanting to be very clear about this moment spiritually for the inhabitants of the earth. We are having this renewal in order to bring this change so that we can have the quest and break through the illusions that bind us to the negativity we experience and create. And in these moments, we've been given the gifts that we need and the bounty that we need in order to achieve our goal as we come through the portal. Look at that. Whew, okay, that's interesting. That's the augury of battle. I'll talk about it in a moment. I just want to draw your attention to this line. That's the warrior of skill, acting upon his internal spiritual impulse. This is also about warriorship. Merlin, a sacred wizard, a sacred warrior in his own right, reaching his moment of destiny, accompanied by Spirit, remembering himself through the skillful dialogue. And here, another warrior. This is the augury of battle. This warrior has been completely transformed. Do you see it's interesting. There's a lot of chatter in my head about purity. And again, do you see the cards the Spirit's choosing? Look at that. Having been transformed through our devotion, the renewal of our devotion to the purity of our intentions and that which exists waiting for us. This is about a prophecy. An augury is a new beginning, obviously. It's a numeral 1 card. But this is the moment before we put our hands, having been prepared, on this sword of victory that has to do with everything that's been channeling through, Spirit says. I'm not going to repeat it because the video is already going long. But look at that. That's where we are as we stand in this moment preparing for the eclipse. Spirit wants everyone that sees this video to get ready and to understand the moment. Focus all your energy in your heart chakra. This is the place that we are standing. We are being prepared for that which comes next. Okay, let's see what's here. Okay, ooh, look at that. That's gorgeous. That is the woman of knowledge. This woman is a healer. She is of the mystical realm. You see her beautiful garment? Again, this is, Spirit is saying, female archetypical energy, a fertile moment. She is picking herbs and flowers for healing. And she picks them literally from a gravestone. And Spirit's saying, from all that has come before, all the wounds, all the wars, all the acrimony, all the things we've been seeing in the United States in the last few days. Okay? That which is of our history, Spirit says. It's time to heal it and to go forward. This is a gravestone. The person buried here is her brother. And Spirit says, in these moments, think about your human brothers and sisters. It's time for those of us that are here to utilize the knowledge of the past and that which grows out of it. And again, look at there's the elderflowers. Okay? Literally that which grows from the bones of what is buried. And Spirit's talking about what has come before. That knowledge, that understanding, that desire for healing arises for us now in this moment, and we can harvest it. Each one of us has a great ability to perform healing as we come through this eclipse. All right, let's see the outcome card. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. All right. This is the judgment of art. The illustration is very straightforward. Look. Do you see? Spirit says, look. It is time to break through the illusions that keep us from each other and from our heart chakra. So, this card, it's always very important to look at the placement of this card in the reading. And so here is the outcome. The half of this vessel that is stable, and again, filled with life energy, water, abundance, love, purity is the word that keeps coming through today. The base is stable. And you know what? You see, it's sitting almost in a way out in the universe, in the sacred realm. That's the base. This half, and it is split literally down the middle, this is what falls away. That which we no longer need, that which we now dispose of because we have broken through the illusions. And you see the triple spiral in all the places in our life. The stable half of this vessel is sitting right next to the lover of devotion. And so there's no question in my mind that this prophecy for us, the augury of battle, the things we need to heal, and the way in which our devotion leads to our stability and wholeness has never been more accessible to us than it is in this moment. Please don't doubt it. Please do whatever you can to be deeply with yourself. Spirit says, if a conversation is what serves you, have that conversation. Allow your heart chakra to speak. That's why one of the reasons this is here. It's time to speak with each other. It's time to speak with yourself. It's time to speak with Spirit, with love, to break through these illusions and renew our devotion in order to have this sacred journey and change the truth that has been our foundation. So that because obviously that foundation is cracked. It is unstable. It is not serving us, and there is no life. So I'm going to pick from the bag of runes. Let's see what else Spirit has to tell us. Coming through the eclipse, having been prepared all these many months for this moment in 2017. In order to understand how it is as individuals we change our collective destiny. Look at that. We've seen that before. This is about the self. And it's interesting, the reading speaks to the temple at Delphi. I find that fascinating, given the eclipse and all the things that have been coming through me. All right, so I always read right from the book. I'm going to do my best to stay out of the way of the camera so you can hear the reading and look into the cards. This is what Spirit is asking me to do. Okay, the self. Let me just show you this. Okay. The starting point is the self. Its essence is water. Only clarity, willingness to change is effective now. A correct relationship to yourself is primary. For from it flow all possible right relationships with others and with the divine. Remain modest. That is the oracle's counsel. Regardless of how great may be your merit, be yielding, be devoted and moderate, for then you have a true direction in your life. Be in the world, but not of it. And yet do not be closed or narrow or judging. Rather remain receptive to impulses flowing from the divine, within and without. Strive to live the ordinary life in a non-ordinary way. Remember at all times what is coming to be and what is passing away. Nothing less is called for you in this moment. This is a time of major growth and rectification. And as a rule, rectification must come before progress. That is why, you see this? The moment before, remember that? This is the moment before. While we are rectifying, through the way we use the energy flowing into us from the spirit realm and out of our heart chakras, bringing this change. So this is a time of major growth and rectification, and as a rule, rectification must come before progress. The field has been tilled. The field must be tilled, before the seed is planted. The garden is weeded before the flower blossoms, and the self must know stillness before it can discover its true song. Now is not a time to seek credit for accomplishments or to focus on results. Instead, be content to do your task for the task's sake. Herein lies the secret of experiencing a true present. If you take the rune of the self and cut it down the middle, you will see the rune for joy with its mirror image. There is here a subtle caution against carelessness. The self is required to balance the self. Nothing in excess was the second phrase written above the gateway to the temple at Delphi. The first counsel was know thyself. Thank you so much for being here with me. Oh, it means a lot to me, and I will be, pardon me, I'm getting all choked up. I will be, with each of you to the best of my capacity as we go through the eclipse. If at all possible, I urge you to take some moments of quiet to center down deep, Spirit says. You know, the message about the self, the self meaning the spiritual self. That part of you aligned in the deepest place where you know things, Spirit says. And the self that walks here, so in the book it's capital S and small s. So it's time to align these parts of your nature with each other. And we have all the power we need. This beautiful blending of male and female power. Driving these changes forward and creating the dual desire is what's coming through. There is some chatter going on in the background about the yin and yang, which I've been talking about off and on kind of a lot over these last few months. And Spirit wants us to be aware that we assist each other. And that's a time to really understand how the energies work here in this place where we walk, having these beautiful experiences. So thanks, everyone. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you, and I would love to hear anything you want to share in the comment section below the video about how you're experiencing the eclipse and the things that you are thinking and feeling, and what your desire, what your devotion is causing you to work on, so to speak, from this place. I look forward to seeing everyone in the monthly readings for September. Thank you.